like it's something like game up for us?
It resembled more of what we're about as a football club. I'm trying to cut away from, the defeat to think about what we've done positive in that game. We've had a good chat this weekend with the staff and the management, to define what we're trying to do. And I think the early season form, we've defined that, what we're about, with an intensity, an high passing game, high precision passing game. And I think, certainly the Oxford games made me realise that you can't minimise risk. The level of football that I want to try and play, you've got to maximise risk. And first half, I thought we moved the ball out well. And even though we only created a few chances, they were good chances. Certainly second half, we've created enough chances, but not clear-cut ones. We're not aggressive enough in our decision making in terms of the final third, and we've got to start scoring goals. That's one thing that with the strikers we've got and your Nicky Adams and your Danny Mayers, that we've got to start scoring goals. And it was just on that final impact, wasn't enough quality on that last third. So we've got to get this squad and this team scoring goals. Because at the minute, the goals we're conceding, not very good goals against us. And tonight's goal, I'm not sure how that sneaked in, but it's just crossed. And it didn't seem no pace in it, or not enough pace to certainly beat the three defenders in Schwan. But it has done. So it's eluded us, and really disappointed to go out of the FA Cup. But tomorrow is a day when we can dust ourselves down and go again for Saturday's performance.
You mentioned the goal. Was it quite a sucker punch because it was shortly after half time and it's come out of nothing really?
We seldom seen red zones. Just after half time is a red zone where you've got to be fully alert, fully aware of all your surroundings. You've just come out after half time, and it was sucker punch. It was just a bad goal to give away. It's again, you have to reorganise. You have to try and firefight. You've got to try and find a goal from somewhere where if you can try and play yourself into the game and play yourself into good goal scoring chances, then you've got a chance of beating them. So it was a disappointing one. I think we recovered okay, and we certainly attacked them with a verve, but probably not enough aggression in the last third to be really clinical. And you've got to be clinical at this level.
You mentioned that we had a chance at the end. If it falls to anyone other than Nathan Cameron, does it hit the back of the net?
Probably not. Yeah, I was quite happy to see Cam, break the offside line and be in that position. I'm not too sure how much pace was on the ball. I think it was one of them balls that stood up. So Naif's got to generate the power. And listen, you take a Photoshop of it, and you in hindsight, you'd want him to bring it down his chest and just volley it in. He's got the athletic capabilities to do that. But that split decision, he's decided to edit. But I think with the lack of pace on the ball, he's not been able to generate enough power to get it past the goalkeeper. So I was quite happy it fell to Naif, if I'm being honest. And he's been a colossus for us. And there's been some good performances tonight. There was an aggression in what Tutty did, Nicky Adams did, an aggression in Schwan's performance today. Again, Nathan Cameron, Keil O'Brien, he only found out he was playing this morning when Pabs has pulled out this morning. He's arrived to the club and he's got a bit of a groin problem. We didn't want to risk it. It could turn into a 4 to 6 week injury if we risk it. So Keil stepped in and made his debut, and I thought certainly first half he was excellent. Really delighted with that. So we've got another one who's added to the squad there who we can give real belief and trust in. But I think the Oxford game was a turning point in our season. The way that we didn't play the brand of football that I want to play and I want to represent. So we'll get back to winning ways. If we keep doing what we're doing, and we're determined in our goal scoring exploits, then we're going to start winning some football matches.
Do you think it's a case of once 1 or 2 goals in, it's going to start flowing and you're scoring 3 or 4 like we were at the start of the season? Without
a doubt, but I really do believe that the players do. The players are giving us everything. That's what I do know. The players want to do it for each other. They want to do it for the football club. I've got a fantastic group of players in that dressing room, and we're going to keep working. We're going to keep believing in what we do, and certainly, I want to give the supporters and the chair and the board what we give them at the start of the season. But that will come back if we stick to what we do. And we come off task on Oxford. That didn't represent us first half of what we did, and we've got to really play a risk strategy where we're trying to move that ball about, because when we do, teams are struggle to cope with us. But again, it changes momentum. Scoring goals changes momentum, and we've not been able to tonight. But that's what we've got to get back to.
Looking ahead, we've got York in the league on Saturday, so it's a perfect opportunity to bounce back at our home stadium.
Without a doubt, and I want to get our own fans that win that they deserve, and I want to get these players that win that they deserve. And we're putting a lot of time in, putting a lot of effort in, putting a lot of hard work in, and they need some reward for that now. The players do, because we're hitting it, foot to the floor at the minute. We're really trying to hit it hard to get that result, and we will get that result. It'll turn. There's a lot of belief in that squad. There's a lot of belief in what's going on above me. There's a lot of belief in the plan, and we've got to be resolute and stick to that. And I'm no doubt, the goals will start flying in.
Final one for me, a narrow loss for the youth team tonight in their youth cup game against probably one of the best youth sides in the whole country.
What score was it?
They lost 1-0.
A very early goal.
Very early goal, 8 minutes in.
Wow. I mean, they've had a big loss themselves with George Miller. George Miller's been fantastic, and if that's the case on Old Trafford, then they've represented the club incredibly well. They're a credit to the club. What Kiddo's done this season, how he's turned a youth team round that was playing a completely different style of football to what they're playing now. Dudds is on the goals he's on. It's okay, we've got beat, but we're trying to do things the right way, and I think that's evident. So the youth team are a credit to a football club, and we're going to match that with the first team. Cheers, guys.
Just one question, just about you mentioned about belief. I suppose in a way that's one of the major sort of differences between when you were winning games at the start of the season, say when you won at Burton to the top against Burton to the top. Maybe there's swagger, slight difference in the.
There was a swagger tonight. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. Players just lacking that last little bit of quality on the execution. That's all what's been missing. But we've looked at all our work. We've looked at what we do. We're just not scoring goals. We're not scoring goals. Oxford apart and Southend were the level of football was poor. Them two games, then we have tried to play the right way. We try to be aggressive in what we do with an intensity, but we're not converting our chances. We're certainly getting enough chances to win a game, and we're not doing so. We've just got to look at that, concentrate on that. The individual errors, the individual goals that we conceded have been poor. There's only one good goal I can count this season that we've conceded, and that was a Cheltenham goal, a 20-yarder. The rest of them have been errors that this team have to stop making. It's goals. It's not belief. These players believe in what we're doing. The chair believes in what we're doing. The supporters, when we turned out here tonight, have sung with pride. So I've just got to turn what's going on the pitch into goals, and then the belief comes flooding back, or the confidence, call it whatever you want, but there's certainly no doubt with what I'm doing, and the players understand that. They know what we're trying to do. They're fully behind it, and we will get results.
I was going to say, they are the same players effectively. There's a few little additions, but they're the same players that took you to the top of the league, so there's no reason why they can't do that again.
Great, we will do. It's not a concern, it's not a worry. That dressing room, they're down, but we'll pick them up tomorrow. We'll pick them up on the way home, because that group of players will do special things this season. I'm convinced of that, and it's my job and my duty as manager of the football club to get them scoring goals, and we'll work tirelessly to do that, and endeavour to do that. But goals change mindset, they change games, they change a potential negative situation into a real positive one. They give you momentum, they give people a feel-good factor, they give fans a feel-good factor, and we've got to start scoring, because on this poor run we've not scored enough.
Okay, and I guess one other thing really about the FA Cup games have kind of come in between Elabt and Milsom coming in, so you've not got that sort of selection there. I guess the consistency in it that you want to do. Is that going to make a difference over the next few weeks, where you've got to settle aside maybe after that?
I think potentially, but I think consistency, it comes with that stability, and I think that we had real stability last season. Yeah. We got real stability at the start of this season, and the first couple of games that we lost, you could see certain people become destabilised by the situation. But the best clubs in the world, and the clubs that with most consistency, whether it's David Moyes at Everton, whether it's Man United, Sir Alex Ferguson, whether it's Arsene Wenger, you know, Rochdale, Keithville, sort of fit, Eddie Howe, Bournemouth. It's consistency. They get consistency week in, week in, year out, and it's called stability. Without it, you've not got stability, so you don't get consistency, and that's something that, you know, we've got to certainly get back to. You know, I believe in what we're trying to do at the football club, and it's probably become more apparent after the Oxford first half, where it didn't represent anything that I'm about, the players are about, and the chairman's about. So, you know, it's something that it's been a wake-up call, and you know, it's what we do. We play with intensity, we play with technical intelligence, and we've just got to do that. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Cheers.